Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing our series Money for Beginners, talking about credit cards. Today we're going to be talking about what to pay off every month for your new credit card. If you remember last time, we talked about getting yourself a secured credit card if you're a new finance person. If you're new to money and maybe you don't have a credit card, getting that secured credit card with a $500 to $1,000 limit and then spending that limit on your everyday purchases. Now, what you're going to want to do with that credit card is not what everyone does with their first credit card. What everyone does with their first credit card, and yours truly is guilty of this too, is they go out and they buy one or two big items. And then they get that first statement and they realize their big mistake and they pay a lot of interest. So, let's see if we can get you to avoid that big mistake, learn from our mistakes, and put yourself on the right track to build that credit, get you better interest rates down the road, and put you on the right financial track. So, you've gotten your first credit card, you're out there, you're getting your groceries, your gas, your little spending habits on your credit card. You've put that debit card in your back pocket, and you're only using that for cash and maybe large purchases. So, what you're doing is you're going to spend. Not on large items, remember, we're going to keep those items small. And at the end of the month, you're hopefully not above your credit limit, and you have a statement balance due. Now, on your credit card balance, you're going to see a couple of different lines. You're going to see current balance, you're going to see statement balance, and then you're going to see minimum payment due. Okay? Now, credit card companies love when you pay the minimum payment due. They give you this line because it's usually a lot less than what you owe. Don't be fooled by this tactic. This is put on there because credit card companies, again, they love when you don't pay your balance. The reason they love that is because they make interest on you keeping a balance on your card. Now, what do I mean by balance? Do I mean that current balance? No, I don't mean the current balance. What I mean is that balance over your statement balance. That's confusing. So let's break that down a little bit. We talked about last time that a credit card essentially is a loan during a certain period of time that closes every month, and then you pay back that amount. So if you think about a credit card as a 30-day loan, right? You spend during that time and then you pay it back in the next 30-day period. So when you're making your payment, you want to think about paying off the previous 30 days spending. So what you want to do is you want to look at that statement balance due. Ignore the current balance due. What the current balance due is, that's your statement balance plus any spending you've already made from the time that the previous statement closed to when they sent out the bill. So that includes any current spending you've already made that will include on your next statement balance. So you don't want to pay that off right now because essentially you're not getting the benefit of your credit card. You'd be using it as a debit card, okay? So you want to look at the statement balance due. Now for your first payment, if it's a brand new credit card, your current balance is probably going to be same or close to your statement balance, but we're going to focus on the statement balance for now. What I want you to do is I want to get you in the habit of ignoring that minimum payment due. Most people see that minimum payment and they go, oh, I only owe $29 this month. No, you owe your statement balance. You only have to pay your minimum payment. You should pay a lot more than your minimum payment. The minimum payment is just what the credit card company says you have to pay in order to keep your card in good standing. If you only pay your minimum payment, if you flip that statement onto the back, they have to tell you how long it's going to take to pay off your debt if you only pay the minimum balance. It's usually years. If you pay off your statement balance, one, you're going to bring your balance down quite significantly, very quickly. And two, here's the kicker, you're not going to pay any interest to the credit card company. Now, you might be asking, well, why would they give me a credit card if they're not going to make any interest? because they know on average they're going to make interest on most people who get credit cards, because most people don't understand how credit cards work. But if you learn how credit cards work, you can get the benefit of the credit cards and make yourself money without making them money. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. So, if you pay off your statement balance, you're going to have zero balance carried forward to the next statement. When credit card companies charge you interest, that's the balance that they charge the interest on. When your statement closes, you have a grace period when you make that payment. Once that payment is due, any balance that's remaining that you haven't paid off is charged interest. Now, that interest, like we talked about last time, usually runs between 13% and up to, I've seen it as high as 30%. Again, this depends on your credit card. Store cards are usually higher. So let's say you have a statement balance of $500. Okay? You pay off $300 of it. You now have $200 charged to the next statement balance. Your credit card company is going to automatically charge interest on that $200 remaining on your previous month's statement balance. Okay? The interest and the $200 is now going to apply towards your statement for next month, which means that interest is actually going to eat away at any available credit you have on the card, which means you now have less amount of credit to spend. You have more to pay back because now you have interest to pay back, and you still have to pay back the next month's spending. Do you see how people can quickly become engulfed in credit card debt? Rule of thumb here: don't carry balances on your credit card month to month. Pay off your credit cards every month and you're going to avoid paying interest, you're going to avoid credit card debt, and you're going to avoid digging yourself into a hole that you can't get out of. Now, we're going to talk about strategies in another video on what happens if you've gotten into this credit card debt spiral and you want to get out of it. Now, there's no shame in that. If it's happened to you, it happened to me. I was able to get out of it, but it's going to take some work. And it's going to take some hard work, and it's going to take some decisions that are going to hurt. If you're ready for that, we'll talk about that next time. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, put them down below, and we'll respond in another video. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm send more people my way, and we'll see you in the next video.